The number of people waiting is going up.
Great. Well, that's good. That's good. They're hanging to. I and I got to rehearse. Wow. Okay.
Okay, everyone, apologies for the delay, but we are currently live. Mr. Tierman, if you want to take it away and get us started.
Welcome to the Yearbook Assembly. It is our distinct pleasure to host our community today in one of the school's cherished traditions, the dedication of the 112th edition of the Nods and Beck. Now, we are able to have this wonderful moment today due to the unflagging efforts of Sarah Coven and Amzie Brakeman, the dedicated yearbook editors, in addition to Ann Murphy and Shay Pagel, the dedicated advisors, and the wonderful graphics staff, and our tech department, who in our moment of crisis in mid-March allowed the yearbook to shift off campus and make it work. Thank you so much to all of you. And here are Sarah and Amzie with the dedication itself. Girls, please take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Tierman. And like you said, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for watching. We're really excited to give you a look into the book that we've been creating all year. And we thought it was fitting to show a little picture of our staff at the beginning, and we will thank them more at the end. But I'm going to pass it off to Amzie to announce the theme. Oh, she might be having some audio trouble.
Okay, the theme for this year's 2019 to 2020 yearbook is Horizon. So this is the cover of our book, which hopefully you'll be able to see in person soon when you get them. And so Sarah will talk a bit more about why we chose the theme and why we think it fits this year really well. But first, I just wanted you guys to see the cover, and I'm going to talk about the colors and the design elements we chose to go with our theme. So as you can see, yellow, orange, red, pink, and purple are our colors, and you can see these throughout the book to bring everything together and make it cohesive, which is also why these design elements, so concentric circles, like in the sun on this cover, as well as a squiggly line, like the horizon line, and these elements can be seen on pages throughout the book, which again just brings everything together.
So we wanted to read a little bit from our letter and talk about why we chose the theme Horizon. So I'm going to read that now. When we sat down to brainstorm ideas for this year's book, it was at the tail end of a very long and grueling junior year. The next school year and the new decade of 2020 seemed to hold many exciting prospects on the horizon for the world, the country, the school, and ourselves. To name a few, the Summer Olympic Games in Tokyo, exciting space exploration such as NASA's new Mars rover, and various historical anniversaries were set to happen. In America, a presidential election would happen on the 100th anniversary of women earning the right to vote, where seniors will get to vote for the very first time. In our own community, the new campus and Bridge to 2022 plans continue to become realities, and the class of 2020 would experience many new beginnings at the fall in their respective universities. We never would have thought, however, that in our last few weeks before submitting the book to the publishing company, life as we know it would have been flipped on its head. Constants that felt fixed in our lives are suddenly up in the air. The 2020 Olympics are now set for 2021. Universities across the nation have sent their students home indefinitely. Head-Royce has shifted to online learning, and many seniors wonder if they'll graduate in person. With the widespread outbreak of COVID-19, we weren't entirely sure what was on the horizon. Despite these uncertainties, the Head-Royce community still strives to expand its horizons as learners and educators alike. Now more than ever, this community will unite together like the colors of a sunset. In times as treacherous and uncharted as these, the distressing events of the present and the uncertainty of the future can feel insurmountable. But the support we continue to provide for each other reveals that we all have the common goal of forging ahead and helping others do the same, so we can all experience the many exciting things to come. We hope that this edition of Nods and Becks will honor our community and memories of the hard work and accomplishments of the 2019-2020 school year, and serve as an unforgettable representation of our final year at Head-Royce. So next we're going to present the dedication, and a little bit of background on this is that we pre-recorded this, and so we were able to present it to the person last week and record their response. So let me see if I can get this to play.
So Sarah and I have been like, I don't know, I guess we kind of have wanted to tell you for months, and it's definitely been kind of like weighing on us. And so we feel really bad that like we couldn't tell you before and that we like can't tell you in person now. But I guess, so like, yeah, we do feel bad, but we just like.
Yeah, it's been really hard on us these past couple months, like keeping this from you. And like, honestly, it's just kind of like emotional that we haven't been able to tell you. And like, it just, yeah, we just really feel bad about it. And like, this is kind of serious. So, you know, this probably isn't the best way to tell you, but I guess like there might not be any other option. The truth is, this year,
Dedicate the yearbook
to you.
The yearbook?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. You're gonna make me cry.
Oh my God.
Let's trigger the editors. Oh. Oh my God, you guys are so sweet. I don't even know what to. Oh my God, what'd you put in that thing? Where is that picture? Oh my God, this is so. I'm shocked. And that picture, I can't.
You know, language teachers like don't often get the dedication because, like, especially you work with a smaller set of the community, like you care about students like a lot, and a lot more than just in the context of your class. And it's really true.
Oh, thank you, you guys. And advising, definitely, because you're also an advisor in our grade, and like I know our advising loves you. Like even.
So here's the dedication page up close. And like Amzie was saying, Madame Bourdet was an advisor for the class of 2020, and she's been both of our French teachers all the way from freshman year until junior year. And we couldn't think of anyone more deserving. We wish we could present you with this honor in person, but we just wanted you to know how much we appreciate you and how much the entire Head-Royce community appreciates you. While you might not be able to teach as many sections, your reach is deep, and you really care about the kid as a whole and not just about what kind of French student they are. So we were able to get some funny photos from her past and a couple of her legendary Halloween costumes. And we just wanted to say again, thank you, Madame Bourdet. You really have made such an impact on us at Head-Royce, and you really deserve this.
Okay, so now we're going to give you a sampling of some of the pages in the yearbook so that you can get a little taste before you get your actual books. So this is a spread that features faculty and lower school members, and there's also 2 other pages in the book featuring the same idea but with middle and upper school. So the idea for this spread came from our theme, Horizon, because that encompasses what's on the horizon, what's in the future, and this spread is people writing little messages, little letters to their future selves. So we thought it was a really fun idea, and it'll be really cool to get to read these little messages and see people's perspectives on what the future is going to be for them. And the 2 yearbook staff members that made this spread specifically are Melina C. and Madison H., who are both 10th graders currently. So we want to thank them for making this awesome spread. So the next 2 spreads are both our congrats spreads for the grades that are getting promotions. So that's 5th grade and 8th grade. And we chose these to showcase right now because there's a really cool use of the colors of our book with the gradient in the title. And we think it's a special page too, because it's nice to congratulate and appreciate these grades for finishing an entire division. And so this is highlighting them and their grade and their accomplishments. And this page specifically was made by Margaret R., who is a current 10th grader. And the next spread is going to be really similar because they're meant to complement each other. So this is obviously for 8th grade. And again, it's just, congratulating their grade for completing middle school and just highlighting them as a class as a whole. And this was made by Kendall H., who's currently an 11th grader. So again, you can thank her for this really awesome spread. And so the last spread I want to highlight is this Fade page. So this is really special because as many of you may know, Fade didn't get to do a traditional show this year. But luckily we got to get photos of one of their rehearsals before we started online learning. So we got to put this page together, which is really awesome because they put so much work into their show, and we like to then take those beautiful photos and make a spread that hopefully you guys will find visually appealing and enjoy. And this was made by Zoe B, who is an 11th grader, and she put a lot of work and time into making this really pop. So hopefully you guys will like it.
So we have a couple more spreads that we want to show you. Next, we showcased a couple of our sports pages. So as you can see, we incorporated the element of a sports object. So obviously for soccer, the soccer ball, and for swimming, the goggles in the center of the page to kind of like focus it, center it. And you can also see a couple of other elements. So on the top left of both of the pages, there are pictures of the captains. And then in the bottom right and the bottom bar, separated by one of our design elements, is a player profile. And so this has been pretty consistent with Head-Royce yearbooks the past couple of years, and it's just to showcase a player on the team. Usually the captains will recommend someone for this profile. And the last thing that I want to mention about these pages is swimming is a spring sport. And so you can see the little yellow bar on the bottom of the swimming page. And that is sort of an announcement that's put on all of the spring sports pages to recognize the hard work of the team, even though they obviously did not have a complete season. And the reason I chose to showcase these two was because, one, they have really excellent writing. Zoe B also made the men's soccer, and Anya K made the swimming page. And so they have excellent writing, excellent photos, and something that I definitely want to commend Anya for is she was able to get photos and captions and complete her page before we had to abruptly leave school. So some spring sports pages will have more content than others, and that's really just because of whether or not they had games before school shut down. So thank you for these beautiful spreads, and the sports section will look very similar to this with the different sports objects in the center. Lastly, we thought it was fitting to end with the spirit page, which was actually made by one of our spirit masters, Hannah R. And she's also was the senior page editor this year. And she did a really beautiful job of getting photos from different upper school spirit days and getting little quotes about what Head-Royce spirit means to these individuals on the right. And we wanted to say thank you to our spirit masters, even though this year was shortened, it was definitely full of spirit. So that's also Grace W and Anna G. And before I pass it back to Amzi, she's gonna wrap it up a little bit. I know this is a very short preview of what's to come, but we hope you're excited about the yearbook, and thank you for listening, and stay tuned for the rest of the information.
All right, thank you, Sarah. And we have a few more thank yous to give. So first off, we want to say thank you to Anne and Shay, because as Mr. Tierman mentioned, they are just such an important part of making this book. They are our faculty yearbook advisors, and we would not be able to complete such an amazing yearbook for you guys without them. They help us through any problems that arise, and they just constantly support us. So just a big, big, big thank you to them. And specifically, I want to shout out Anne, because this was actually her last year as a yearbook advisor. And we were just really glad that we got to make a yearbook that we're really proud of, and that we also think just shows the constant improvement of these books year after year under Anne's guidance. And then a massive thank you to the entire yearbook staff. So obviously it's not just Sarah and I. We cannot make a 400-page book by ourselves, a 300-page book by ourselves. So there's 20 people, and they come into class every day ready to work, ready to put their best into this book. And every single one of them is such an important part of the team, and we're really proud of them, and we want to give them a massive thank you. So last of all, I want to say thank you to Shay, a little shout out to her, because she, this was actually her first year helping us with the yearbook, but she was a really important part of getting our photos and making sure that they all look really nice. But she has tons of talent, so overall she was really helpful. And with her photos, her and Sarah actually did something really special for this yearbook, which I'm really hope that you guys will like when you get to see your actual books. We wanted to keep some things a surprise, but our division pages are these beautiful photos of the horizon in Oakland. So they got up super early and went to Head-Royce and set up the cameras and did all of that work to get these beautiful photos that hopefully you guys will love seeing in person. And there's more to come like that, where we didn't want to spoil everything in the book, so you'll still see lots of surprises. One of those is an index. So this is actually the first year we've ever done an index. And what that is that it's near the back of the book, and you can go and look up you or your friend's name, and you get to see every single page that they appear on in the book. So hopefully that'll be really exciting and useful for you guys. And we were excited to put that in. So there's lots more to come, even though this was just a little preview. And I'm going to pass it off to Shay, who's going to give you some information on distribution and the specifics, but thank you guys for listening.
All right, so the really big question that I know all of you are really excited to hear the answer to is, how are you actually going to get your yearbook? According to the promises and the delivery plans from the company we work with, we should have the books ready to distribute to 8th graders and seniors at their respective promotion or graduation ceremonies. The following week, when students are going to be scheduled to drop off their textbooks, their library items, and their tech equipment at school, they will also have the opportunity to pick up their yearbook. You will get detailed instructions from your division, and those emails should be sent by the end of next week, and they will outline a drop-off pickup plan for each grade level during the week of June 8th through the 12th, or after if you're not able to show up at that point. Thank you all for showing up. I'm going to pass it back to Sarah and Amzi to end the presentation.
Yeah, just one more thank you. That's all. We're really excited for you guys to see this. Thank you so much for watching, and